Okay, so today we will be playing a game against Black Yellow Big Mom. So I did play it before recording this part, but I'm going to put this part at the beginning of the video so that you guys don't have to wait through the whole game to see it like it was in the last one. I said something about how I've been working on a new build for Issho, and this is kind of where I'm at with it. I think there's still some things to tweak. There's still some things to fix with ratios. But I also had a really weird game, as you'll see, where like my whole hand was just a bunch of this green stuff, and it took a minute to get to like the navy stuff and things like that. But we have the leader Issho, obviously. We have the 2K Ezo, which also helps with tapping down their blockers. People are running a lot of blockers these days. This taps them down, and then you can use restand law to bounce it back and all kinds of shenanigans. We all know bouncer law, blocker law, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, really cool card. The X-Drakes didn't come in as clutch as I thought, but the concept of X-Drake is to have a turn where like you bait out a block, play like the Rosinante, and then play the X-Drake out off of Rosinante, KO that character, and then have these on the board. But I don't know if the Rosinante is going to stay. I thought it was a fun little cheeky thing since restand law and blocker law are both green 5 cost, and then X-Drake is as well. But for this deck at least, there's not enough 5 costs that make sense to run in it to really make sense with Rosinante, and Rosinante is such a big cost for a turn. But I'll do a little bit more testing before I make a final decision on that. I have the Bonnies just to, if for some reason we can't find Mr. Law or our Punk Gibsons or even the X-Drakes, and the restand law obviously is at 1 right now. I might bump this back up to 2. I may cut the Rosinante and pop this back in at 2 because it does put in some work finally in the match you're about to watch. But yeah, Bonnie just finding things, cycling through the deck, stacking things, whatever. Restand law is restand law. Basically, you're probably going to use it on like X-Drake or Law here. It's really cool though because like you could have Law already on the field, swing with Law, play restand law, swing again, and then at the end of the turn, if you have 1 up, you can activate Issho's ability and then still get your blocker off. So not only do you get 2 swings, you get a block going into your opponent's turn. So yeah, just really kind of cheeky there. We have 3 Kuzons. Honestly, haven't seen this card just too terribly much. Sometimes I've cut it down to 2, but I like never see Kuzon. So I don't know what's going on with the Sim RNG, or if I'm just not meant to see this card, but I can't really tell you how it does in the deck. But I mean, it's a draw 1, it replaces itself in the hand when you play it out. It's not a bad card. We have the Kobe's. The Kobe's come in handy, especially if you hit something with like Great Eruption, or you have the one on Issho to reduce by 1 or whatever. But Kobe's just, in my opinion, a good card. I may or may not cut it, but it is a form of removal for the deck. So for now, just at 3, I don't want to see him too often, but he is nice to see. Sakazuki, big body, removal. Essentially, the only reason I am running him at 4, if you know the channel and you know me with my black decks, you know I hate running Sakazuki at 4 because it is a dead card in hand. It's a 6 cost, so if you don't play it on curve, it's kind of funky. But in this deck in particular, I've learned how to kind of utilize him. So yeah, Sakazuki at 4, so we make sure to see him because he's one of our only forms of removal. Suru's a 2K. Occasionally you throw it down for the effect, but mainly just a 2K. Hina is okay. I haven't played her too much. She may get cut just because we already have so many other blockers in the deck. So but when she is out there and you can utilize her ability, she does come in clutch. Borsellino, best blocker in the game. We'll move on. 10 cost Kuzon. I just threw this in here to kind of fill space just in case I did see him and it came in clutch. But I'm learning that these kind of like conditional cards in a deck during a deck build just don't really make sense. It's okay to have a 1-of, but like right now, we have 3 1-ofs in the deck. Either gonna bump him up to see him more often or cut him completely. So like the 10-drop Kuzon and the Rosinante, they're big high cost characters. I may just cut them. The Issho's do come in handy. That's why it's at 2, so we have a better chance at seeing him. I was running Branu as a searcher in the deck, but I just saw myself trashing too much that I didn't then see again. But I guess if like I cut these and I cut this and I cut this, that's 4 spots. That's a Branu. If I run everything at more like 4 ofs and 3 ofs, then I'm less likely to get rid of something I'm going to need during the game. I guess that is a way to look at deck building. So we live, we learn. I'm trying to get better at this game. Fukuro, second best blocker in the game, can't be KO'd by effects. The only reason Borsellino's better is because it gets the extra 1k on your opponent's turn, and in my opinion, a little bit better stats. We move on to the events. Punk Gibson at 2, Spiderwebs at 2. Pretty much the same card, just this one rest one of your opponent's characters. We all know what Punk Gibson does. We all know what Punk Gibson does. And then Spider's Web is really cool because like if you have 2 blockers on board, you can swing with both of them, and then restand one with Issho, and then like they swing at you. You could like, or they swing at your blocker that's already rested. You hit them with the Spider's Web, restand it, then you're getting another block. So this deck really likes to, until it has a good board setup, just like consistently block but defend the blockers as well, so that you always have a way of kind of like keeping your opponent from getting you too far down in life. The last event is Great Eruption. It just draws you a card. It does help with reducing costs for certain things, like if you play the Issho, now any of the 6 drops can become a 4 drop. You drop the Issho, you can rest them, go in. If it's a 7 drop, you hit them with the Great Eruption, then you can get rid of them with Sakazuki. And then if they're like a 5 drop and you don't have Sakazuki, you can hit them with the Kobe. So it helps with removal. I may actually bump this up to like 3. So like I said, there's a lot to work on here. There's a lot to be done. So without further ado, we'll jump into the game, and I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you do like what you see.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're playing an Issho build that I've been working on that kind of has some green Supernova stuff, among other things, mixed in with black Navy package. So I've been tweaking it a lot, working on it, trying to get it to work a little bit more smooth. And they're gonna go first, so yeah, we'll mulligan here. Pretty much the same hand, but that's fine. We can work with this on 2. I mean, we can Great Eruption, get a card, and then just go ahead and pass. So or do we, you know what, no, because we'll be on 4, so we could place a Borsellino down, no problem. Next turn, they're on 3. Black Yellow Big Mom. For some reason, I keep coming up against this matchup quite often. No block. We'll go ahead and take that first one, get a 2k counter to hand. We can also tap something down. So yeah, that means pretty much any 5 cost, no 6 cost or higher, we'll be able to Great Eruption it. Well, Great Eruption to reduce, and then Issho it. But we are on 4, so I think we'll just put the Borsellino down this turn. Yeah, we'll go Borsey Boy into lead. See if they take. They do have 2 up, so it makes me think they have Shockwave. No, they have Sovereignty. Interesting. Don't understand why they play that so early, but to each their own. To each their own. So they've gotten 2 puddings down. I'm not sure. So they have a Brulee in hand and a Streusen in hand. I was not paying attention to all that. They're going to swing 7, trying to get the block out of me. And, it's going to need a 2K. I really just don't feel like it right now. We have I think these are all the X-Drakes in the deck, which isn't horrible, because on 8 we can Issho X-Drake, but at the same time, good googly moogly. Are we gonna see Parasparrow come down this turn?
No, we're gonna see the Brule. That's right. So they got a blocker. Actually, we could bait out the blocker, X-Drake it if we wanted to. So we're on 6. What do we do? I mean, we could go into blocker law shenanigans, but we don't have a Fukuro in hand. If we play this, then we have 5. Let's see if we can bait the block. Which, I mean, if we bait the block, there's no chance they defend it. But at this point, you might as well just take the first life. They are holding on to that life. Like, what do we have here? 6. So we could do this. Play a Borsellino, swing with Borsellino, restand Borsellino. Yeah, I think. Or actually, no. We could leave 1, 2, 3, 4. Attach 1 to Borsey Boy. Swing. Probably bait out that block. No, they're not gonna block. Oh, they 2K'd out. Okay. Do this. Card action. Restand the Borsellino. We have a couple 2Ks. We have a couple 1Ks we could afford to get rid of. They're on 7. So we may see 7-drop Big Mom come down this turn. If they swing with lead with 5, then we know that's probably what's about to happen. But it may not. Brule and Strusen were the only things we know for sure were in their hand. They're at 6. If we see one of our Ishos, that would be great. We're going to try to not take any life this turn, though. If we could not take any life this turn and keep board presence, we'll be good. But they are going to swing 8. Well, we could block for 6. Yeah. 2K and 1K. And now if they want to swing on this, they can. But nothing they have really makes sense to like buff up that much. So next turn we'll be on 8. We can Issho X-Drake something. And then the next turn, if Issho stays on the board, we can go into blocker law to bounce it back. And if anything, play it back out onto the field. And if we did that, then we'd be able to do also X-Drake. But they have a Borsellino now. So, yeah, I think we're going to need to just go ahead and rest that. That kind of determines what we do next turn. Which will leave us with 5, which, I mean, we could play blocker law and just bounce this back. But that uses up all of our Dawn. We'll see what we get off the draw. There's nothing else they can do. So hopefully they go ahead and pass this turn real quick so we can move on with our lives. But yeah, I mean, basically where I'm at right now is Issho into one of these. But I mean, if I'm going to tap down their Borsellino, we'll see if they'll pass turn. There's like nothing for them to think about. Okay, thank you. So we get another Issho. That's actually cool. So that means we could play this one and rest the Borsellino. We could actually rest both of their blockers, have 2 up. Yeah. Still use Great Eruption as well. if we wanted to. I think we need the card at this point. Why am I drawing nothing but it doesn't really matter. Deploy this Issho, tap down the Borsellino. We'll swing with our Borsellino into them. See if we can bait out this other block so we can have the other 3 free to do a big swing with lead and then restand the Borsellino at the end of the turn, and also keep another 2k counter in hand. If not, we can Issho swing for that. That doesn't make sense. But I mean, it also doesn't make sense for them to not block. Okay, so you're just gonna 1k out. I think we save these. We can't do anything else. So I think we just swing big into the Borsellino. If anything, get cards out of hand. Instead of swinging at leader that they're just going to block. Wow, they're really going to 6 King Pistol. Card action, restand this Borsellino. So that's like one of the great things about this leader, being able to restand 1 card at the end of your turn. You can swing with the blocker, then restand it and still have it active. 6 into the 5, no block. We will 2k out of that one. They're on 8, so Katakuri's coming down. Yep. Borsellino, either my Borsellino to life or their Brule. Yep. For the free blocker. We do have Spider's Web now. This is great. Essentially, we could leave 2 up at the end of the turn. Let's see here. How do we go about this? So we could Issho rest the blocker. That's 3. And then have 5 to blocker law. Pop Issho back to hand. Oh wait, I don't even need to play the 3. I just deploy the blocker law, card action, pop this Issho out that way, and then pop it back out. Rest this. That leaves us with 5, which leaves us with 3. We can go 6 into lead. You get the free blocker. We'll go 6 into lead. They're gonna counter out. We're gonna end turn, card action, restand. They're gonna swing 6 into my leader. I think at this point we just go bing and 1k out, because then that'll give us a reason to spider web. Yeah, no block, spider's web, restand, resolve. And just keep a constant board of blocked off. So I think if that would have gone through, or if I would have just blocked and only had 1 more blocker left, there's a possibility they either load up on this or swing with this and keep 1 blocker alive. But if I can keep a well-established board here, I can drop the Issho, rest the Borsellino, swing big, bait out the other Borsellino. I mean, there's things that can be done here. They're going to Thunderbolt to get rid of that. That's cool. They still have a leader swing as well. So they're just going to go 5. I think we just take the free block here, right? Because they're not going to KO this. they can stack up and swing on it. No block. Yeah. Keep the body on board. Now they can't swing into it because Borsellino on their turn is only 5. They want to keep both their blockers up. We do get a Bonnie, but that's like really late game to get a Bonnie. If we blocker law... Well, okay, let's look at it this way. They have 2 life left, but they also have 2 blockers. So that means... Yeah, we should focus on taking out the board. So what we're going to do is Issho. Oh, okay, no, we do blocker law. So we can get the 2k back to hand and play the Bonnie for free. Yeah. So we blocker law, card action, bounce the Issho, play Bonnie, use Bonnie, get restand law. Interesting. That's the only thing we can get. Return those to the deck. We can then swing what? 8? Well, take care of these small bodies, but they can't defend right now. I mean, they can, but it doesn't make sense to. They're gonna take the free block. That's fine, actually. Yeah, because then we'll just go 8 here. Or maybe I should have, We go 8 into the Borsellino because they can't counter out of this, so that's going to get rid of one of their blockers, which is going to be very annoying to have to deal with. Like, either way, it's fine. I mean, technically I could swing with this one. I still have 2 blockers for next turn. Actually, I think that's the move here. We're going to go ahead. Oh, wait, they're 6. That was dumb. I for some reason wasn't thinking about the fact that he's 6 on their turn. Yeah, there's no reason to counter out of that. That's on me. 10 drop Big Mom's coming down this turn for sure. I bet that was the last card in their hand. Oh, it's not. Okay, so they're gonna swing 6 into the Bonnie. That's fine. That's actually really fine because if we can bait out the blocker, or actually play Issho, play restand. Yeah, I think we have we maybe have game next turn. I'll take this one. We're gonna use yeah. Punk Gibson off life is broken. Okay, yeah. So we Issho for their blocker. We want to keep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that leaves us with 2. Let's just swing with lead, because they're going to take this life to get counter power. More than likely. Oh wait, they have 2 up, so does that mean they have they either have sovereignty or they have shockwave? Shockwave to get rid of the Issho. That's fine. So again, we have 7, so that leaves us with 2. We swing 5. They take. They do get a blocker off of life. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we play the Issho, we can't play restand law. And restand law is kind of the whole thing. Huh. That hurts. So I think what we do... What do we do? That blocker completely threw everything off because they're just going to block. And then they're gonna use this. Do we just take one of their bodies out now then? No, because restand law is a counter. Keep one up. Oh, okay. We can still get like 2 swings out of this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep one up. Throw one onto law. So we go. Seven into the Borsellino because they can't counter out of it. They can block, which is fine. They take it. We deploy. We restand. We swing into the other blocker. Yeah. And then we use card action, restand. So they can use their ability here to gain back a life. But I think we're fine. They have 3 swings. We can take one, block one, maybe counter out. But they're going to have to take care of this Borsellino. 10 into the 5. We keep. It's 1K. It's better than nothing. It's coming down to the wire. We're going to swing 6. And then what? They have 1. They have 7 left. So we keep the blocker. So no block. 2K out. Resolve. Unless they distribute between their 2 smaller characters. But with 7, you'd have to go 3 onto this. Then I can 1K out. So you're probably going to go 6 onto this. Yep, okay. But then that's only 3 left, so that's only 4. Okay. Then with 1K out. Okay, double blocker. Got you. And then we Sakazuki card action. Get trash the Bonnie, get rid of a blocker. Swing 5. Swing 5. You can counter out if you have a 1K, you can block. And we take it. Alright. Well, that went better than expected. Really close game. Didn't expect it to be that close. Restand law, I just literally before this video cut to 1 and it finally did some work. I thought that was a really cool interaction. There's actually a Rosinante in there either at 1 or 2. And its whole thing is to help with the X-Drakes, the blocker laws, the restand laws, and things like that. So, yeah. Anyways, that was the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new, subscribe, like it if you liked it. All that good YouTuber shenanigans. And I will see you in the next one out in the open seas. Later, pirates.